podcast brought to you by Outdoor Vitals, makers of performance first ultralight gear. And as always, I'm here with the king of Kentucky backpacking, redheaded Santa himself, Mr. Jeremiah Stringer. How you doing, man?
Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas.
Oh, man, we're only a few days away. Well, I mean, if you're listening right now, as this is being released, we decided to give you a special Christmas present this week.
Yeah, look at us, man. You got Netflix. Tom Segura has released his comedy special Christmas Eve. And then here we are releasing episode 299 of the Backpacking Podcast.
The way I see it, people can just, gather around the fireplace, put their TV on YouTube, and watch us. I mean, I don't think it gets a whole lot better than that.
Well, I couldn't disagree with you, man. How better to bless your family than putting us on your TV?
There's nothing better. There's nothing better. But hey, Jeremiah, before we get too far, we do need to say something a little bit about Outdoor Vitals real quick. This is the Vantage Alpine jacket. I am a huge fan of this jacket. I've been wearing this thing pretty much all over the place lately. And you want to talk about a jacket that keeps you warm when it is freezing cold outside. This is the jacket for it. You could see just the pricing on it. One of the things I love about this jacket is this price. Even if you don't have a membership with Outdoor Vitals, it's only $275 for a jacket that I promise you is going to keep you warm. And the fabric on this isn't like a lot of your down jackets. This thing is made to take a beating, and yet still it's not overly heavy and it's comfortable. And I'm kind of digging on the color too, if I'm being honest with you.
What color did you go with?
Oh man, I went with the dusty olive.
Okay, I think I've done the same one.
Yeah, it's a good looking jacket, man. It's a good looking jacket. I'm loving it.
I will tell you, by the way, they have a little promo going on, OutdoorVitals.com.
Yes, they do.
10% off gift card. So literally free money for all you last minute shoppers out there. You can still get 10% off. And if you're listening to this on Christmas, the deal is still going. So if you're like me and you got family coming the weekend after Christmas, you can still snag a last minute gift. And then maybe you can forward that gift card over to them, or you could print it off and stick it in their stocking.
Or if you just want to buy a bunch of them and send them to the Backpacking Podcast so we can just get more stuff, that's cool too, because we still like our Outdoor Vitals. Hey, something else Outdoor Vitals did that's really cool. I want to check this out. They sent out an email today, and I don't know if you're seeing this on live or not, but it says, "We've been keeping something quiet." Actually, 3 somethings. For a while now, our product team has been deep in the weeds, field testing, falling, rebuilding, obsessing. Anyways, what it gets down to, Jeremiah, they're releasing 3 new products this next year. And the only way you're going to find out about them ahead of time is by signing up for their email list. So make sure you get online to OutdoorVitals.com and get signed up for that. It is one of the best ways to find out about new gear that they're going to be releasing, and also sales before they even happen.
Well, I got to tell you, they nailed it with that Alpine, the Mountain Pursuit line.
Yeah,
that jacket. I'm thinking. So I'm on break right now, right? I'm a public school teacher, and so we get about 2 weeks off around Christmas time every year. And I always try to do a backpacking trip during that time. But I'll tell you, the issue I'm running into, I'm looking at maybe a couple of days during the week when I normally don't get to go during the week. I can only do weekends. But the day I'm wanting to go, the high is like 33 degrees. So I don't know.
It's that time of year, man. It's that time of year.
Well, I would have to wear that jacket the whole time I'm out. I mean, it's made to for you to be able to move and stay warm too and not sweat to death. But that's a cold trip, dude.
Well, and I'm on a challenge right now with Jeremiah because I put this jacket on. He goes, that thing's coming off in 10 minutes. Yeah. And I said, oh, no, I'm going to wear it the whole time. And I'm going to tell you what, I am burning up right now. This thing is so warm. And basically, I've got my own personal sauna, and it's this jacket. So thank you, Outdoor Vitals, for sending us some amazing gear. And thank you for making stuff like this. Go check them out over at OutdoorVitals.com. Jeremiah, we got people in the live stream leaving comments. Suga Canadensis, Woot woot. Stone Ape Adventures. Say it's not true. I guess he doesn't want to see us online. I don't know. I am cooked. What a name. Hiya, guys. Chicken Little Tricks. What up, fellas? Feel leave Naughty Dos. Oh, I get what he's saying. Feliz Navidad. Gotcha. All right. Doc Watson. Merry Christmas. Long time no see. I didn't get much sleep last night, so if I don't get the jokes right away, don't be shocked. Stone Ape Adventures. Jeremiah looks like the lumberjack from the land of unwanted toys.
Hey.
That's fantastic. Let's see. Hiking with Cam. Hey guys, what's up? What's up, Cam? How you doing? Doc Watson says 33 degrees is balmy this time of year. And Stone Ape Adventures says, I'll gladly take 33 and we'll laughing about it. So we'll be laughing about it.
Let me tell everybody what this looks like right now that's just listening. If you're just a listener of the show, by the way, you can see the show if you ever want to. You can see it on YouTube, on the Backpacking Podcast YouTube channel, and you can see it on Spotify. We do a video version on there. But if you're just listening, I am wearing a JetBull gray t-shirt and a red Santa hat, traditional style with white trim and the white ball. And John is wearing that big puffy jacket, and he's wearing the same hat I have on, except it's a little bit darker. And you don't have white trim around yours. What is that, leopard print or jaguar or something?
Oh, bro, I killed this leopard with my own bare hands and turned it into a Santa hat.
Well, you look great, bro. It almost matches the jacket, almost.
It's a perfect match. It really is. Derwin off the trail is online right now. Good old Darwin on the trails alter ego. He says, "What up, Tramley? What's going on, Derwin? It's good to see you, man." So, Jeremiah, you got some great. We've talked about this before, but Jeremiah is a genius when it comes to having things to talk about. Okay. And Jeremiah will just come up with these ideas out of nowhere, just stuff to talk about. And most of the time, I'll come on, I'll say, I got an idea. We could try this. We could try that. I got nothing. Jeremiah's stuff is so good tonight. We're just going to talk about everything that Jeremiah wrote down. And that's what we're doing tonight. So, Jeremiah, we had a poll that we took a couple weeks ago. Do you want to kind of explain that poll to everybody and why we even put it up there?
Yeah. John and I had recorded an episode, and I just come back from the Fiery Gizzard Trail, and I told a story about it. And, in retrospect, I could have just went into the woods and pooped, but I like to play this little game called the Don't Poop in the Woods game. And so if you end up not pooping in the woods, you win the game. That means you made it to a bathroom at home or a gas station or somewhere after your trip. And if you poop in the woods, you lose the game, which a lot of people in our community, this backpacking outdoors community, would heavily disagree with these statements and say, I have it flipped on my head. That's okay. It's fine to be wrong. Not a problem. So
it's fine to be wrong.
It is. So if you want to hear the story, you can go back and listen to that episode. But long story short, John said, let's put up a poll and see what people think. So we asked the community, and it come out to be an overwhelming yes. 90% of people said it is possible to win the Don't Poop in the Woods game, but lose at the same time. And,
100%.
They left us some fun comments too that we could take a look at. By the way, Darwin Off the Rails gave us a super chat. What up? Merry Christmas and happy holidays. Oh, thank you so much.
Thanks, Derwin. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah. So, John, what's your initial reaction? Do you think? Do you agree with our community that we polled here? That says 9 out of 10 say, yeah, it's definitely possible to win but lose at the same time.
One of the things I do know is that following Walker's World, he's definitely figured out a way to lose. I'll wait till my body explodes before I poop in the woods. That would be a way to win the game and lose in life. Just gonna throw that out there. But yeah, I would say it's very easy to do that because you can win the game, but you could also get sick as a dog by the time the trip's over because you've been holding it for so long. You can have a little accident on your way to the privy when you get to the trailhead. There's so many ways you can lose that game while still winning. So I would have to agree with the backpacking podcast audience that is exactly what it should be.
I think we got a few new. Well, I don't know if you call them new commenters. Some of them we've seen multiple times, but since we've moved the show from Monday nights at 8 to Wednesdays at 4ish, there's some people that haven't got to see the show live. So, hello, Robert. Welcome to the show. Finally catching one
Yeah.
live.
It's good to have you on here.
You want to?
And if you are new, let us know. I mean, don't be quiet. Talk to us. We'd love to chat with you while you're on here.
I couldn't agree more. Do you want to see some of the comments that people left us?
Oh, read me some comments, man. Read me some comments.
All right. We got Loafer X, longtime listener of the show. And he says it's like ending the season on a winning streak, but still not making the playoffs. Wow. What a perfect
analogy. Fantastic. That is fantastic.
Sean says, when you misjudge the distance from the trailhead to the nearest toilet and experience a quote code brown emergency. Code brown, very fitting. Lost again with Jim says depends on how far the hike or how far the drive is after the hike. And AT girl says only if you don't quite make the bathroom when you get home. And she said that Jeremiah almost had to testify to that last weekend. Very true. Very true.
Yep. So you know, it's almost like you're looking for the perfect woman, and then you find her, but unfortunately, you realize it's your sister.
Oh man, that took a turn.
That would be like, you know,
that's terrible. And Suga says, without a doubt, I can think of 10 scenarios that can be the case. Yeah, backpacking. 10. Hit us with some of them, Suga. We love the examples. Backpacking Grub says, just go is always the right answer. And Doc Watson also commented, oh, the cramps. And don't trust that fart. Yeah, that's the scary part.
Yeah, when you get to that point, you never trust a fart. That's a guarantee. You never, ever trust a fart.
Last comment here for you that I'm going to read. KG Wash, you never forget your first time. Or to bring extra TP and wet ones. Did I mention staying away from Death Wish coffee? Oh, I'm not familiar with the Death Wish coffee.
Oh, Death Wish coffee is good. It's just highly caffeinated, and caffeine is definitely a diuretic. So a little too much caffeine, a little too much runny runs, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I get that.
It's fun stuff.
I do love coffee, though.
I do love some coffee in the mornings. That's for sure. Well, Jeremiah, we're in the Christmas season.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're just a couple days away. Let's talk about the best and worst backpacking gifts for Christmas.
Oh yes, man. Do you want to go a best and then a worst?
Yeah, let's do this. Let's just say this. If you have best and worst gifts that you think would be for backpackers, go ahead and post those live here with us so that we can actually chat about what you say. So put this on there. Jeremiah, why don't you go first? Why don't you give us a few of your best backpacking gifts ideas?
All right. I'm going to say some of the best that you can get. Anything that is like a merino wool blend, whether it is socks, those are always killer. Whether it's a top, you know, like a shirt you could sleep in, or a base layer, or the bottoms. Like I love my smart wool. You can get them in different weights too, by the way. So like if you want something that you can move around in. So anything merino wool, hat, literally any of it is awesome. So much better than cotton, especially we're here in wintertime. Another one. Oh, yeah. I don't know how much longer we're going to need these. Eventually, hopefully, or I guess depending on your perspective, you want to get away from everything, maybe not so hopefully, but eventually you're going to be able to use your phone anywhere. You're going to have internet anywhere pretty much. So, but right now, until that happens, some kind of communication device. And I'm talking like, usually these are pretty expensive, like maybe a Garmin InReach or the Garmin InReach Mini or something along those lines. And I'll give you one more. How about, I'm going to say a high quality knife. I know that your favorite's probably Benchmade, but you can't
Yeah.
on those quality knives, something the size of a pocket knife, even if it's somebody that doesn't do a ton of backpacking, that type of gift is applicable across to all aspects of life. So one of those higher end.
Yeah. Yeah, and even if you were able to get like even a mid-tier knife, it's a good deal. Like Spyderco puts out some knives that aren't terribly expensive, but are really good knives. There's some other brands out there do that, and sometimes you can just find deals out there. I want to show one of the comments that's just got put up. This is definitely a bad one. The combination flashlight clock radio with a built-in fan that takes 4 D-cell batteries. A 5-pound clock to take with you when you go backpacking. That'll do it.
Well, there's a lot of people that when they're buying for backpackers, and I'm sure some people in the comments can attest to this. If you want to hit us with some of the worst gifts that you've ever gotten, we won't tell anybody, but sometimes at work, people get you for Secret Santa and they're like, oh, he likes fishing or he likes backpacking or camping, and they get you stuff and you're like, what were you thinking?
Oh yeah. I agree. All right. I'm going to give you 3 things that I think are great gifts that you can give people. I'm actually going to take your alpaca or your merino wool, and I'm going to take it to alpaca. I think anything made with alpaca is phenomenal. Antimicrobial, it just never stinks. And if you backpack a lot, you know what stink is, because that's what happens after a long weekend out in the woods. You're just going to smell bad when you get home. I know when I get home, typically my wife will see me and she'll just smile and point to the shower. And then I'm able to hug my wife because I just smell so bad. But with that alpaca stuff, you can put that on, and a lot of times you can wear that when you're going into like a restaurant or something after the trip and not destroy the people around you with how bad you smell. So I think alpaca is fantastic for that kind of stuff. Another thing I think makes a great gift is finding like a really good backpacking freeze-dried food company and buying those for people. 'Cause you know how it is when you get ready for a backpacking trip, you're always like, crap, do I have food? So having those extra things like Peak Refuel, basically you buy any Peak Refuel for somebody, they're going to be thankful. Because I haven't had one from them that's bad yet, but grab something like that. I think those are great. Another great idea. We never have enough little pouches for things. So things like little wallet, like this Chicken Tramper wallet, stuff like that is great because we're always wanting to put things away. And if it's a lightweight fabric that's waterproof, man, those are just great little gifts, and they don't have to cost an arm and a leg to get those. So those are always great ones.
Yeah, the ditty bags that you can use to organize your stuff. Some people are big fans of just throwing everything in the backpack. Personally, I like keeping it fairly organized. I mean, some people even like Jonathan, he's got a thing that zips up his hammock, his underquilt, and his top quilt all in like one little ditty bag, basically, that you can compress. So there's a million different ways to do it, of course. And by the way, Durbin Off the Rails, another super chat, must be in the giving mood here.
He's got the spirit. He's got the spirit.
He says, John, oh my God, John, isn't that leopard print Santa hat for your OF site? Is that true, John?
Oh no, I had to shut that down.
Oh, he already shut it down. You missed it, Darwin.
Yeah, when it was OnlyFans, I thought it meant like people that liked my music. And so when I realized what it was, I had to say, oh, wait, I can't do this. And so I had to shut it down. So no, the hat's for my wife, but we won't talk about that.
Well, my feet's still going strong. So Darwin, you can check mine out. Don't even worry about it. They're still, the feet pics are still coming.
Nothing says no clicks like Jeremiah having an OnlyFans page. That's all I'm gonna say.
Size 15.
Okay, so we got some more comments on here that are great. Doc Watson says, I once received Coughlin's camping teepee in my stocking. That stuff was thinner than a tissue. And then he also commented on the alpaca. He said, I got an alpaca beanie. Would be great if it wasn't too small. Thankfully, I got a gator as a gift too. Loafer X says, nothing says worst backpacking gift ever more than as seen on TV. Rich Amrick says, yes, John, dehydrated meals are a great gift. Merry Christmas, guys. Here's a good one. Yeah, this Rachel Jean, the Gypsy Queen. Fuel would also be a welcome gift. She's right. Getting fuel That's fantastic. And then Doc Watson makes a very astute statement here. I'll pass on the meals if they are Ready Wise or Mountain House.
Yeah, unfortunately, Walmart, that's a lot of people's big box store, and that is like the go-to if you're getting one. People just walking to Walmart, they're like, okay, yeah, let me get this. They get that, and then what's the Walmart brand? Outdoor something. It's not outdoor research.
Ozark Trail.
Well, there is Ozark Trail, but there's also a different one for like their camping gear. It's outdoor something.
Oh, outdoor
Oh,
products.
it's
Outdoor products or something like that. It's like something basic.
Yeah, let me Google it real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But here's the thing, man. The only backpacking foods I've ever ate that gave me like projectile diarrhea was Ready Wise.
I never had the Ready Wise, and you know
it tore me up, and it was the most bland tasting stuff I've ever had. Carl Mandrioli told me stay away from that stuff, and I was on a diet where I was trying to avoid fat, and they had virtually fat-free meals, and so I got them, and that was literally the biggest mistake I ever made in my entire life.
what was it like?
Well, I've told the story on here, but the morning after, I got up and I had to go drop a deuce 3 times in a row, and all of them I overshot the cat hole by 3 feet.
That's pretty rough, bro.
Oh, here's a great one, man. The best gift that I got this year was an Outdoor Vitals Nova Pro jacket. It's the gift that keeps on giving, the goat of all jackets. Hey guys, Merry Christmas. That's from Casey Gray. That's awesome. Yeah, I love that jacket. I mean, it's the precursor to this one. So, great jacket.
That's the one with the pit zips?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a great jacket. Okay, Jeremiah, let's talk about gifts that are no good for Christmas. Why don't you give me 3 gifts that are no good?
Okay. My first one, top of the list, bear bales.
Bear bells. That's a good one.
Yeah, and some people are all about them, and take them if you want to. I think it's a hilarious gift. It's kind of like that would be like a spoof gift. Another one, games that you play on trail. There are a few that I like Miyagi brings the little. It's like a rubber frisbee kind. It's small, compact. You can just throw it in his pocket.
Oh, it doesn't weigh anything. Yeah,
but like, I don't know. I'm not gonna take a mini chess set on trail. I'm not gonna take like
right.
You know, pocket size Scrabble on trail. So anything like that, I think terrible. I have honestly taken you know how many trips I've taken the mini deck of cards? You seen those? They're like super small. You know how many trips I've taken those on? Guess how many times I've used them?
Never.
0 times. You know, you think, oh, I'm going to be stuck. We're going to be stuck in the tent. It's going to be raining. And then you get out there and you're like, no. So yeah, the little games. And then I'm going to say combine 2 in 1 here. If you let me cheat
okay.
A big multi-tool. The small little compact ones are fine.
Yeah.
Minimal. But like if you just go to Walmart and get the one that goes in it's got like the belt loop, or it goes on your belt and it snaps closed, and it weighs like 12 ounces for this one multi-tool, and it's got one of every tool on it.
Yeah.
Those / a big hatchet, or not the Bowie knife, like a machete style knife. Any of those big knives, hatchets, axes, those kind of stuff are terrible for backpacking. Great for camping, great for survivalist stuff, that kind of thing, but backpacking not so much.
Right.
Terrible gifts.
Well, and here's the thing. There's a difference between camping and backpacking. So that's something we got to understand, like up front, because when you understand that, then it makes sense why we're saying the things we are. So I'm going to give some of my gifts that I think are terrible backpacking gifts. The first one is a machete.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
I had a friend who that's literally what he was given, because he was going to do an Appalachian Trail backpacking trip, and they gave him a machete. And he just looked at it and he goes, I don't know what I'm supposed to do with a machete on the Appalachian Trail, but I've got one. This is a gift I was given one year. Again, it's great for camping. Okay. This would be great for kayak camping, but a waterproof Pelican case.
Oh, like a dry box type deal?
Yeah, little dry box. It's a great. I've used it for other stuff, but backpacking, just not a great backpacking gift. Again, it's super heavy, that kind of thing. And then the third thing is the very heavy metal Stanley thermoses.
Oh, yeah, the ones that if you're a carpenter, you're taking that to work with you in the morning?
Right. Yeah, that's not a backpacking thermos. Like, you're not taking that with you. Now, camping, or if you're doing like a winter thing where you're maybe walking in a half a mile, not so bad. But if you're doing a backpacking trip where you're actually doing miles hiking, you don't want that thing. That thing weighs as much as half of your backpack. So you don't want to do that.
Yeah, dude.
And I will say one other. I'll say one other. I'll give a bonus. I got a bonus one.
Okay.
I got a bonus one. Don't buy a backpack for somebody.
Oh, yeah. That's tough.
Don't buy a backpack for somebody, because you've got to be able to. Backpacks are so personalized just from the way they fit, the way they feel, how you want to carry stuff, what kind of gear you have. Buying somebody a backpack is a trap, because they're going to say thank you, but you may never see them use it.
Yeah, dude. There was somebody that swung by the house yesterday, a buddy that I used to work with. Don't see him very often. They moved and he's in a different school district now. But he had asked me, he's like, hey, I'm doing the kind of the not scoutmaster, but like lead, like volunteering with his sons, and they're doing Boy Scouts and stuff. And he's like, hey, I'm kind of one of the people in charge on this trip. Do you have a backpack I could borrow? And then I gave him an old Deuter or something. And he come over here yesterday to drop it back off. And I was like, how did the trip go? He's like, trip went great. Didn't use the backpack whatsoever, but it did let me see kind of what I liked and didn't like and how it rode and that kind of thing. And he's like, after putting it on and putting stuff in it, he's like, then I went and bought my own. And I was like, well, you're welcome. That's exactly what you should have done, was, use it as a tool to learn what you like and don't like. And then, kind of like a vehicle. If you're buying a smart car for somebody that's needing a dually flatbed truck, it just don't jive. So it kind of depends on what you need and what you like.
Yeah. We got some great answers over here, man. Alex and Jay said a 10-inch Bowie knife, a carabiner multi-tool with a built-in knife, screwdrivers, and a bottle opener.
10-inch Bowie knife. That's getting close to the machete range.
It is, man. That's big. Stringer Slingerland said outdoor research helium rain jacket. You're guaranteed to get wet. Ask the Schill brothers for their opinion. Ask me for my opinion.
Oh, you don't like that one?
It destroyed my phone. Really? It wetted through so bad my phone got destroyed. I lost a cell phone because that thing couldn't handle the rain. Yeah, I will never own one of those jackets again.
Does that one have the pockets that, like, does it have a chest pocket?
Yeah.
Or pockets?
It has a chest pocket.
Isn't that the 2.0 version?
I guess. Yeah, the one I had was the 2.0, and it had the chest pocket, and I didn't think there'd be enough water to destroy my phone, but there was.
Well, Jason, Mr. Backpacking with Jason, sir, had the 1.0, and it had like regular pockets, like down.
Yeah.
What do you call them? Just around your hips, but
yeah.
Traditional double pocket. And he could not, I guess they stopped making them, and then they changed it to a chest pocket, and he loved that jacket. He tried to get another one. So I think he would disagree with you there.
All I know is it got so wet after a while, it did nothing. It was worthless. So
fair enough.
But then also the worst gift for around the campfire, a cello.
A cello. That'd be tough to carry in.
And then Alex and Jay actually says they've got a Go chest from Etsy. They said it's very backpacker friendly. I'm guessing that's a backpacking chest set. And then
they would make them. Just not.
I'll go ahead.
Use.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't use it unless it's a 24/7 from Hilltop Packs. My husband just got one. Big shout out to Tim and Ben.
What's a 24/7?
It's a backpack from Hilltop.
Oh, it's one of their models.
Yeah, it's one of their models.
Oh, okay.
So, but anyways, best and worst backpacking gifts. There's some good ones, man. Jeremiah, I got a question for you.
Yeah,
if you're willing to answer it. What is the coldest night you ever had on trail?
Well, I think it's a tie. I think probably the coldest that I didn't have a thermometer for was whenever we were supposed to do a couples trip. And then they said, "Hey, there's a polar vortex coming through and it's going to get down in the low teens." And I was like, "Oh, well, I'm the most experienced in this group. And I wasn't even that experienced at the time either." And I was like, "I probably don't need to drag these 3 other people out with me." And so me and another buddy and man, that was a tough one. We went to bed wet, woke up the next day, and your pants, you should have stuck them in a bag
Frozen.
and stuck them in your sleeping bag or something. Yeah, everything was just frozen. Everything was wet, and then it froze overnight, and I woke up and it was like 14 degrees. But I learned from that trip. I was in a tent sleeping on the ground, and I double stacked my sleeping bags, and I also put one of those silver emergency blanket sleeping bags in between. And I got to tell you, that is a vapor barrier because that thing was
Hmm.
wet whenever I woke up the next day. And then that tied with another trip. I went to Pennsylvania and it snowed and snowed and snowed. And we sledded on that trip, one of the most fun trips. And I double stacked my hammock under quilts and top quilts and was sweating to death. I woke up and there's a foot of snow everywhere. And I was so sweaty, I had to throw one of them off of me. That's probably my coldest ever. And you once you get cold like that once, you learn real quick.
Uh-huh. You do. You do. I think my coldest ever was 5 degrees. And it was here in Kentucky, believe it or not.
5 degrees.
Um, I just got it in my head that I needed a night out, and I got the wife to say okay. And I think it was February. It was last year or the year before, and it was one of those days. Yeah, I don't know if you remember. There were a few days where it just got really, really cold, but I had no plans, and I was needing to get out of the house. I needed to get in the woods, and so I did an overnight. I went in. It was like I want to say it was like 35 degrees the day I went out, and when I got up the next morning, it was so cold that my any condensation that was on my tarp was just as solid as a rock, man. If you've ever seen a Dyneema tent that's just frozen solid, it's kind of impressive. Because it was so weird because I'm packing it up because it wasn't freezing when I went to bed, and you know how it is when you're hiking when you're camping in a hammock. You've got condensations coming up out of the hammock, and the inside of the tarp can sometimes get a little wet. And especially if you're got really warm breath. And so right above my head, there was some condensation that had built up. And then it's almost like it flash froze overnight. And I had to crack the ice off of the inside of my tarp.
Oh man.
It
Yeah,
was wild. It was wild. I'd never experienced that before.
I've been in the tent and it'll freeze, but then fall off on you at night and it'll wake you up. You know how you take your sleeping bag and it's got a hood and you zip that thing closed, right? It's got like the
Oh
tip
yeah. Oh yeah.
got just like this little hole like for your nose and your mouth to stick out. Well, that'll like drip on you and you're like, "Oh my gosh, ice dripping on my face." I've had that. At least the hammock, you got the net over you.
Oh yeah. Well, and I learned something about sleeping with my quilt where I could actually pull it over my head and not get soaked. Um, a lot of times what I would do is I would sleep with it really tight on me with a water bottle on my chest, like a hot water bottle,
Uh-huh.
and it would heat up that quilt really good so that when I pulled it over my head and I started breathing on it, it was already warm. So I didn't have to deal with condensation for the rest of the night. Little
Speaking of
trick
being
for you hammock campers that want to like sleep, get your face warm.
Can we check in on how it's going wearing that jacket? You look you look so warm.
I am burning up, bro.
Have you settled in?
I'm not going to call it settled in. I'm warm. I'm warm. This isn't my garage. Now, if this was my garage back in the day when we were doing the podcast and I was in my garage, I'd be great right now because that garage was freaking cold. But
A little
right
ribbon.
now, I am burning up. I've got actual air conditioning and heat in my basement. So I'm dying right now. Low for X left a good comment. He said, let me pull this back up. Said, a good tip from Justin Outdoors. If you think your water might freeze, let it freeze in your metal cup or pot rather than in a bottle. Also store your water bottles upside down.
Oh, very good point. Yeah. And also if it's not going to be too cold, sometimes I will like take my water bottle. Last time I took a Nalgene, which I normally don't take, but I was like, it's going to be cold.
Oh,
And
if
sure
I'm
enough,
going to cold, I'm bringing an Nalgene for hot water.
yeah,
100%.
that's what I brought. But then I just tossed it in my chair, but I piled my clothes that I wore during the day on top of it before I went to sleep. And, I woke up in the middle of the night, wasn't froze. But then I took a drink of it and just threw it back in the chair because it was like 3 a.m. And then whenever I got out, it was
it was it was frozen solid.
frozen.
A few years ago, I got to go backpacking up in Wisconsin with a bunch of guys in February because we're all really smart like that. So a lot of snow, and a couple of the guys were like, "All you have to do with your water bottle is turn it upside down and put it in the snow, and it'll keep it from freezing overnight." And so we're like, "Great!" So we all did it. I think I was the only one who didn't have frozen water in the morning.
What? Everybody else froze, but they still done it?
Yeah, we all did it, but I was the only one who didn't have frozen water.
What's the deal? Is that old wives' tale? Snow is an insulator, but
yeah, it's supposed to work. At least that's what I've been told. That's what I've been told. Hey, John Groover's on here with his good evening, John and Jeremiah. What's up, John Groover? And Jeremiah, here's a good one for you. Woo, yo, Merry Christmas to both of you. Grateful for you having me on the podcast a couple weeks ago.
Oh, yeah. That
Jamie
was
McCracken.
Had a good time with Jamie. Jamie, he hopped on the show with me and we done a little interview while John had the suds. So
yeah, I was a little on the puny side that night and was not able to be on the podcast. And I hate that I wasn't able to because I would have gotten a chance to hang out with an elite athlete.
That's true. And I got to tell you,
just got to say,
it was so funny. John and I, for those that listened to last week's episode, we had a great time. Very, very fun show. And John, about 15 minutes in, I noticed that he hadn't pulled up any comments and he was like, "Oh, sorry, I hit the wrong button."
There was somebody. Oh man, I wish I could remember the comment. Somebody goes, "Man, dude, I missed the live completely. If you guys aren't going to do it, you got to let people know." And I was like, dude, that was totally. I hope he watched it and got his answer because halfway through the podcast last week, I went, "Hey, so for any of you who are watching this right now, wondering why you didn't get to catch the live, we didn't have one because I forgot to make it live and just recorded a podcast episode." So yeah, that is totally my fault. Totally my fault. Oh, here's a Jeremiah. Check this out. This is Robert Newpin. Hello from Norway. Love your podcast. What's up, man?
Oh, shout out
Norway. I was just watching some Frozen cartoons with my kids last night. You know those are based in Norway?
I've never seen Frozen, but
oh, you got a little kid. You're gonna eventually see Frozen.
Yeah, I think I'll see whatever movie they get to, Frozen number 8, by the time he's watching.
Yeah. Okay, here's a controversial take. Are you ready for this?
Hit me.
This is Hiking with Cam. He says, worst gifts, a heated jacket.
Really?
Now, a few years ago, I think I would have agreed with him. But I got a heated vest from a company a couple years ago, and I hung it up, and I never used it. And then I'm hanging out with some friends of mine, and one of the guys, we're all freezing, and he's like, no big deal. We're like, how are you not cold? He goes, I'm wearing a heated vest. Like, what are you talking about? He goes, I'm just wearing a heated vest. He goes, dude, I can't believe you guys don't have these things. They're awesome. And sure enough, man, I pulled that thing out and started using it. When it gets really cold, that heated vest is incredible. So I'm starting to lean towards team heated vest in the wintertime for like shorter trips. I'm controversial take maybe, but I'm kind of with those, man.
I have the heated vest and I have the heated jacket. I got to tell you, the jacket wasn't a super fan of. The vest is like a pseudo puffy jacket. I mean, a pseudo puffy vest. And it's got, different areas. They lined it with some kind of little metal that you hook a battery pack up to via USB and you just turn it on. A quick story here for you. Bridget's brother, she was like, what do you want for Christmas? And he was like, well, I really want a heated vest. And so I looked, heated vest was outside my budget for him. I'm not going to lie. So, you have Bridget's got a list of people.
I get that.
And I was like, no, we got to spend money on each other too. I can't afford a heated vest for him. But I'll tell you this. I've been doing YouTube, and before my son was born, was doing a weekly, and then eventually it's monthly, but doing a video on my personal YouTube channel, and you get all this stuff. They email you and say, "Hey, will you make a video about this?" Blah blah blah. And over
Right,
time,
right, right.
I had collected, I don't know, 4 or 5 of these heated vests. A couple of them had stopped working, so I threw them away. But I had 3 of them. I checked 3 of them. I never used. Still had the tags on them. They were just hanging up in the closet. She was like,
Regifted.
yeah. I said he can just have one of those if he wants to come over here and just try them on and see if one of them fits. This don't have to be his Christmas gift. He can just have one of these. I mean, I really should donate them to Goodwill or something. They've just been sitting
Yeah.
in the closet for 2 or 3 years. And Bridget said, "Okay, let me check." And so she plugged a USB battery pack up to them. And I don't know if she got the wrong battery pack or if there's a certain one you have to use, or maybe they just don't work anymore after sitting there. But she's like, one of them slightly powered on and then immediately shut off. The other two didn't light up at all. So I don't know. They're still hanging up. I haven't tried them, but
Yeah.
the regifting, there you go. That's a real thing, bro.
Yeah. Well, Suga Catadensis, he said he's on team wool. Which I'd have to agree. Like whether it's the merino wool or alpaca, I think wool is a killer fabric. As a matter of fact, My Life Outdoors just did a video on wool. I don't know if you saw that this week, but he just did a fantastic video on wool and how it actually heats up when it gets wet. So interesting little story there he had.
Yeah,
And then check this out. Hand knitted socks are the best.
Oh, I've never tried on, to my knowledge, any hand knitted socks.
I can't say that I have either.
But I gotta
Can't say that I
say,
have either.
anything that's hand knitted to me has always been fairly like thick. So
Mhm.
I feel like with the hand knitted socks, could you wear like those just be around the house, kind of like house shoes? Because you would think they'd be so puffy that if you try to wear them with shoes, it might create some friction and it might make it where your foot's a little bit too large to fit in there comfortably.
I believe Suga's from isn't from the US. So Suga, where are you from? And give us a little more info on those socks if you don't mind. Jeremiah, I want to switch gears again because why not? Here we are. We could talk about this. Do you have any backpacking resolutions for the new year? Some trips you're planning, things you want to do this year?
Yeah, I'm really wanting to make sure that I at least get in one trip a month. But probably January, February, March. March will really break loose, but January and February, I'm just shooting for a mile or less in. A lot of people wouldn't call that backpacking, but I want to do one of these winter trips where you can carry everything you want with you, have a giant fire, and if you want to go and grab something from the car, it's not a huge deal. That's my
Right.
ideal winter. And then my biggest one would be kind of a resolution. I have not taken the baby out at all when it comes to camping or backpacking. We've done multiple hikes, and he seems to like riding on my chest and not having to walk at all and just enjoying the views.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what it's going to be like, but I really want to at least one time this year to get the whole family out on a camping trip or a backpacking trip.
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great. I know for me, I've got a couple things I want to do this year. Um, I I'm not capable of getting out as often as I used to. Multiple factors involved in that. One is my work. I just don't have as many free weekends as I've had in the past. My kids are getting older, and so they need my time more. Me being gone for a few days is harder than it used to be. But what I want to do this year is I've got a couple guys that got me into duck hunting this year. They've never backpacked. So I'm going to get those guys out on a backpacking trip this year. We've already talked about it. I'm taking them out. We're going to take them on their first backpacking trip, and we're going to definitely record this thing and get track of what's going on there. It should be fun to see them on their first trip, how they react to things and how they pack and all that kind of stuff. And then the other thing I want to do is I want to mix my two worlds of backpacking and hunting. And I want to do like an adventure weekend where I can only eat whatever I catch or kill.
Oh wow, that'd be a
I
challenge.
I really want to do that this year. I feel like that would be an awesome weekend where I'm not only, I don't have to carry a whole lot of food with me because I can't carry any food with me. The only food I can get is stuff that I forage or that I catch out of a river, a creek, or a pond, or something that I trap or shoot. I think that would be a phenomenal weekend. Just really kind of test myself a little bit.
Well, let me go back to the guys that have been showing you the ropes on the duck hunting and stuff. So, are you going to take any of them with you in order to give you a higher probability of like catching or
Oh, if
shooting?
I
Or
do it, I plan on taking those guys with me, hopefully. If not, I've got other friends who are wanting to do the same thing. So it may just be one of those kind of adventure trail things. And it's something I'm gonna have to plan well. You don't just kind of just go out in the woods somewhere. It's got to be during hunting seasons. It's got to be during a time where you can actually do it. So before the calendar year is over, I got to figure out when I can do.
that would
So
be absolutely sick. And if you take it to the next level,
yeah,
I I could just see you out there, man. Big scraggly beard. You're building your own shelter. You're
I'm not there yet.
one step at a time.
But let me tell you, the temptation's there. I've been watching a lot more bushcrafting videos and like guys like Joe Robinette and guys like that. Those guys are just fun to watch. Outdoor Boys, man, that guy Luke makes killer videos. I hate the fact that he's not making new videos anymore. But yeah, I want to try some new things this year. I really want to try some new things this year.
So this video you're wanting to record and kind of get the beginner reaction, sorta. What else do you have going on with your channel?
Oh, well, my channel's getting ready to have a massive, massive change. Um, I have not wanted to make videos for a while, and part of it is I just grew stagnant. There's something happens sometimes where you just kind of grow stale. It's like I'm making the same videos over and over and over again, and I want to do something different. And so what I'm getting ready to do with my channel is there will still be backpacking content, but it will not be a backpacking channel. The channel's getting a new name. I will not be doing the channel by myself anymore. There are two other guys that are going to be doing the channel with me. Two said guys that will be on backpacking trip. The three of us are going to take the channel together. We're going to change the name of it, and there's going to be a lot more to come. Everything's going to happen in March of this next year. We are already starting to film content. We're already starting to put stuff together, and we are going to do the best that we can to stockpile as much content as we can so that when March rolls around, we can start rolling stuff out. And it's going to be nice not being the only person in charge of the channel. We're all going to take a role in it. We're all going to run with it. And as big of a personality as I am, these guys might give me a run for my money. These guys are awesome. And I cannot wait to introduce you guys to all of them. But it's going to be fun. It's going to be a completely different kind of channel. Yeah, I'll leave it at that for now. I'm going to put a video out probably in mid to late February that's going to give the whole rundown about what's going on and what to look forward to. And yeah, it's going to be good. And there's also going to be a podcast that comes out of that. So
Wow.
get ready. Get ready.
That is exciting. Yeah, maybe in March, whenever y'all get ready to really fire up the engine. We don't do a whole lot of episodes with 4 people. 2 people, it's John and I both have big personalities. We try not to talk over each other. I think we do a pretty good job. 4 people, it's hard. It's like a dance.
I'm just kidding. I'm just messing with you. I'm just
So maybe we could give it a little kickstart here on the podcast whenever y'all are ready to drop the new content and have them on and hear about what the trip was like for that beginner perspective. It's always interesting to see because I talk about this in teaching. We hired a girl that, well, she's a woman. She's not a girl, but she's 25 years old, young. She'd been teaching for 2 or 3 years. And when you've been doing something a while, getting somebody who's just getting started, you get a lot of fresh takes, a lot of different perspectives, and it's like a refresh. So, it's always interesting to hear things from people that are just getting started. They're passionate.
Right.
It's entertaining. So yeah, I think that could be a good fit for an episode.
Yeah. It's one of those things where uh it's just going to be uh a refreshing change for me. You know, it's I've what's happened to me over the last few years, when I first got into outdoors, like often was backpacking. And it started with hiking, morphed into backpacking, and then backpacking has just morphed into a whole world of outdoor stuff. And I feel like I've got more that I want to put out there than just backpacking. I want to put out some other stuff. Well, there's going to be some hunting stuff, some fishing stuff, some just camping stuff. Um, just gonna change it up, man. Just gonna change it up. I just love the outdoors, and I love a lot more than just backpacking, but I do love me some backpacking.
Oh,
So
backpacking, that's the gateway drug, bro.
it
Now
really is, man. It really
now
is.
you got it. Now you're in all of it. You get your toes everywhere. And I will tell you one other thing on the channel and all that. Having more hands makes everything so much easier, and we can
Yeah.
attest to that from this show. Having two people, not only does it give you an accountability partner, but it also allows you to do, more with less. Because everybody's only got so much time, and everybody's competing for everybody's attention, when it comes to content production. So shout out to all the listeners and viewers on our show for sharing an hour a week with us, because you could be
Right.
doing anything, and you're choosing to spend some time with us. So really, really,
Well,
really.
even just from the standpoint of, I was sick last week. Well, guess what? The podcast still happened.
Mhm.
Jeremiah was sick several weeks ago, and podcast still happened. It's when somebody goes down, the podcast doesn't have to suffer because there's more than one person running with it. So it's one of those things that it's just really good. Great comment here. I got to put this up here because it was really funny. I read it at first. I was like, wait, that kind of hurts. But Alex and Jay said, gotta say, I don't miss the JK Gear vids. I'm like, ouch. And then he goes, do. and, then, and then he said that after that, he goes, darn predictive text. Oh, that's fantastic, man. That is fantastic. Um, but yeah, so I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with the channel. Yeah, there's gonna be some massive changes. It's gonna be a lot different. Um, Whatever you got used to with me in the past, it's not gonna be that. It's gonna be something. Um, it's getting overhauled completely, and like I said, it's getting a brand new name. The direction's different, but it's gonna be fun. This is gonna be a really fun channel. I can't wait. The guys, we were talking, and they're like, "We should start a YouTube channel," and I was like, "Well, do you really want to start one and have to work from the ground up, or you just want to take one that already exists and we can just change it?" So that's what we're gonna do, and I'm really looking forward to it. So for all you people who are out there, if you may want to unsubscribe, I don't know, but if you don't, stick with me. I think you're gonna have some fun.
Rich Hamrick says he's going to watch the Western Virginia game. Merry Christmas, everybody. And he's hopping out. Rich, thank you for joining us. If you're still on, good luck to, let's see, West Virginia. That's the
Mountaineers.
Mountaineers. So good luck to them. Let's see who else. Steve, for me, it's the Winds.
It's the Winds. Nepal 3 passes loop. Bolivia, just go live there for a month or two. Oh man, just go live there. Yeah, I think if you're single, that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm pretty tied down.
Oh, there was a comment up here. I've got to get this one. Hang on. There was a hilarious one earlier. Okay, here it is right here. This is Loafer X. He said, "How about gifting a coupon that gets you out of one birthday party, baby shower, housewarming, etc. of your choosing during the year? Obviously, I'm both single and ignorant." Oh, that's fantastic. I mean, there's a lot of great comments. I don't know that we're going to be able to get to all of them today, but guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Jeremiah, our next podcast is 300 episodes.
300 episodes, man. And if you're going down memory lane, by the way, some at the beginning of the show, we started this and we done sometimes a bunch of episodes all at once. Like if you look at the catalog, I think that we were doing 2 episodes a week or 3 episodes a week. It was a lot. I don't know do you know when we transitioned to 1 episode a week and just stayed constant? And I mean, we've been doing 1 episode a week for years now.
Since 2020.
Yep.
That fall, we started doing live streams. And that's when we went to 1 episode a week, was that fall. We got together, figured out how much it would cost to get some live stream gear, and we started doing it. And at the time, the only people I think that were doing that were the Shill brothers. I don't think anybody else was doing that at the time. And we were like, you know what? Let's just go live with the podcast.
Yeah.
And just kind of went from there.
Backcountry BSing, I think is what they call
Yeah.
it.
Yep. Well, they were our first guest because we contacted them. We're like, hey, how are you guys doing? I mean, I probably was on the phone with Kevin 2 or 3 times a week for a little while there. Just, hey, how are you doing this? What are you doing with that? And just getting info from him, texting back and forth, and then doing something completely different. Because I realized if we do what they're doing, we're going to look just like them. And I was like, I don't want to like insult them by trying to do what they're doing. So we kind of came up with our own thing. And man, has it been fun or what?
Yeah, dude. I just clicked on our channel and was going back and looking at the old videos, like from 5 years ago, 4 years ago. I see you sitting there, and for those that don't know, that aren't longtime listeners, John and I both are living in different houses than we were when we originally started the show. And I started in a guest room at the house, a green wall behind me, and John was in his garage of his house, and it's not climate controlled. So in the wintertime, it was cold. The summertime, it was hot. Sometimes we filmed at your place.
Hot.
Sometimes you drove down to mine. Sometimes we done neutral locations. And, you know, I remember you'd have the fan on, and sometimes you couldn't run the fan because you could hear it with the equipment that we had. And so for the hour that you're live on the show, you have to turn the fan off and just sweat while you're in there.
And what a lot of people didn't realize is by the time we got done, I had gone through like 3 cans of soda or 3 bottles of water or a Gatorade or something, because I was burning up the entire time. And by the time we got done, if we had a guest on, I would say, Jeremiah, you guys talk for a minute. I got to run to the bathroom real quick.
Yeah. And the house, I mean, it didn't happen much, but sometimes like we'd record at the house and you'd have like a big diesel truck to go by. And the only thing between you and the diesel truck driving down the street is about 1/16 of an inch of metal that the garage door was. And so it's part of the show, but I don't know. It's good memories, you know, seeing all the guests that we had on. I don't know. It's fun. So just to think 300 episodes deep, man, it's just,
that's crazy.
It blows my mind. You know,
it's crazy.
The quality of the show is better. We always had great guests. I don't know how we swung some of these guests, but some of the biggest in the backpacking community. And by the way, if you're still listening to me rambling here, email us at backpackingpodcast@gmail.com. I would love to get some new guest ideas. There's a number of people that I'm thinking of revisiting that we've had on in the past, get a life update from them and see what everything's like. But people that you think of that we haven't had on before that would be a good fit, that are in the outdoor community, we would love to platform them and get to talk to them for a little while. So backpackingpodcast@gmail.com with your guest ideas.
Yeah, and we got a great idea from Steve Wright for our 300th episode. He said we should give away some Gonex gear on episode 300.
Oh, a little throwback to the Gonex. Well, if Gonex is willing to give out the gear, then I'm more than happy to give them your address to send you whatever you want.
Yeah, somebody just asked, do you know what happened to the Shill brothers? Merry Christmas. You know, they're loving life, and they're living with their kids and stuff now. And I think priorities changed. And so they're just living a good life right now. Neither one of them needed YouTube. It wasn't like they were doing it for any kind of financial gain, or the podcast was always just something they did on the side. And now they're just family guys and they're living it up. So I know Jeremiah will tell you, once you have kids, things change pretty quick on you and you just don't have the time to do the things you used to do. And so for those guys, I haven't had a chance to chat with either one of the guys in a while, but I know I've seen what they've got on Instagram and all that stuff. And it just looks like they're enjoying their lives right now. So
yeah, new chapter of life, man.
New chapter of life. And with that said, this is our last podcast in the 200s. And we are getting ready to enter an entire new century of podcasts next week, which is crazy to think about. But our first new podcast will be releasing next year. Think about that for a second.
Next year?
That's going to release next year. Next Friday is
oh yeah, January the 2nd. Happy New Year then. Wow.
Yeah, so we are done podcasting for 2025.
We'll see everybody next year. Merry Christmas.
Yeah, so thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for the comments, and we will catch you on the next one.